I will not take that lightly, neither will I take it for granted. I pledge to represent the views of the caucus and the SEC, and even of my other friends in PLU, because PLU is aligned to NRM. So I want to thank them for all the endorsement. And tomorrow, as we go out for the first sitting of Parliament where Speaker will be elected, I still count on the support of our members.
I want to take this opportunity to apologize to the nation on behalf of the leadership of Parliament, because there is where we had a lapse. There is where we didn't put some brake. You know, we went on a pedestal and we went beyond. So we are going to tackle the critical issues. We must respond to the public. The public has been raising issues to do with accountability, issues to do with the processes of how we do our work, issues of human resource, and I think now we are going to be following the book to the letter. We have to follow the law to the letter. We have to bring back the confidence of Parliament.
Norbert Mao tweeted, "I am in the race to the end. I will not join the wave of withdrawals. Months ago, like a soldier armed with nothing but a razor blade, I stormed the best tile and with small consistent cuts secured a vital win for all the anti-corruption forces. How? By shaking the throne amid his opposition from the praise sink of Jezebel. We forced the hands of the powerful people to act in tandem with the sentiment of an outraged population, the cause for which I declared my candidature for the position of Speaker of Parliament is an enduring cause. It doesn't end with the casting of the vote tomorrow. I have crossed the ribbon. Let the chip fall where they will. God is not daft. God is not blind. God is not dumb. He hears, he sees, he speaks. God bless the 12th Parliament. God bless Uganda." Now, let us analyze what Norbert Mao has tweeted tonight. Let us break this down one by one. Mao's crossed the ribbon. Moment, rebellion, resistance, or political gamble. The image posted by Norbert Mao is not random. The choice of the man in the arena alongside his declaration that "I am in the race to the end" is political messaging wrapped inside historical and emotional symbolism. The post is not merely saying "I am contesting." It is saying, "Judge me for fighting, not for whether I win." That distinction matters. The image itself comes from a speech of Theodore Roosevelt called "Citizenship in a Republic." The central argument is that critics sitting outside the battlefield matter less than those willing to enter the struggle. Mao appears to be placing himself inside that frame. He is essentially presenting himself as the fighter in the arena, the risk taker, the person willing to be wounded politically, the outsider challenging established structures. And that is where the political drama begins. The first battlefield: "I will not join the wave of withdrawals." This opening statement immediately creates conflict. Norbert Mao does not simply say, "I am still contesting." Instead, he says, "I will not join the wave of withdrawals." The first creates an image of a political field where others are retreating. Psychologically, it divides politicians in two different groups. Group number one, those stepping back, versus group number two, Norbert Mao standing firm This is classic political positioning. Strong political communications often depends on contrast. Not, I am brave, but others are living while I remain firm. That different changes the emotional impact. Like a soldier armed with nothing but a razor blade. This may be the most dramatic line in the entire statement. Politically, this statement performs several jobs at once. Number one, it creates an underdog narrative. The image is of a fighter entering battle with almost nothing, razor blade against powerful forces. The message, I do not have the mercenaries.
Are you still worried about bending over to wash your feet? Come and try this magical silicone shower foot brush mat. Say goodbye to strenuous.
I do not have the numbers. I do not have state power. Yes, I fought. Let me hope you're getting what I am interpreting. The second line is, it creates hero symbolism. Political leaders often survive difficult moments by becoming symbols rather than simply candidates. A candidate asks, will you vote for me? A symbol asks, will you believe in what I represent? Mao seems to be shifting toward symbolism. To me, what do you think? I stormed the Bastille. This is perhaps the most historically loaded phrase in the statement. The storming of the Bastille marked the beginning of the French revolutions and symbolized ordinary people challenging authority. By using this metaphor, Norbert Mao appears to suggest there was entrenched system, there were powerful gatekeepers, there was resistance to change, and his actions disrupted that order. But there is another side. Using revolutionary language raises expectations. Once someone evokes revolutions and battles, people start expecting revolutionary outcomes. If results do not match the language, critics may say the rhetoric became bigger than reality. Now, in other words, shaking the throne. Interesting wording. Mao does not say, I removed the throne. Instead, shaking the throne, he says, I shook it. Politically, this may be deliberate because shaking power and capturing power are different things. One means disruption, and the other one means victory. Mao appears to argue that even if he does not win, the act of contesting itself changes political calculation, and it is out. That is an important distinction, not only to Mao, but also to many people in Uganda. Praise singers of Jezebel. This line moves from politics into moral and biblical symbolism. The name Jezebel carries historical and religious association with corruptions and manipulation. So Mao is not merely criticizing opponents. He is framing politics as good versus corrupt influence rather than candidate versus candidate. This is powerful because moral battles often energize supporters more than procedural battles. But it can also intensify popularizations. Another line, I have crossed the ribbon. I have already crossed the ribbon. Mao has crossed the ribbon. Another historical reference, Caesar crossing the ribbon mark a point of no return. One Julius Caesar crossed the river. There was no going back. Mao's message appears to be, I have already made my decision. I am focused. I'm going forward. Retreat is impossible. Consequences no longer matter. Politically, this transformed his campaign from a tactical move into personal journey. Now, connect Norbert Mao's statement with the man in the arena. This is where the post become more interesting even. The Roosevelt message says, credits belong to the man who is actually in the arena. And Norbert Mao is still in the arena. Mao's message says, I am in the arena. Roosevelt says, the person who fails while daring greatly still deserves respect. And he will be respected in Uganda fully. Norbert Mao says, the cause does not end tomorrow. The 25th, the connection is almost direct. He appears to be telling supporters, do not measure me only by tomorrow's election of speaker. Measure me by the fight. Anita Among is no longer in the race. The hidden political strategy. There may also be a long-term political calculation, because even in defeat, a candidate can gain, number 1, visibility, number 2, moral authority, number 3, future alliances, number 4, public sympathy, ideological ownership. Sometimes politicians contest races knowing victory is difficult because they are building political capital for future battles. Now, the central question, the biggest political question raised by this message is not, will Norbert Mao win? The bigger question is Norbert Mao trying to win the vote or trying to win the narrative? Because narratives can survive after ballots are counted. Votes end on election day. Stories can continue for years. Now, the final take, it is so interesting. The final take, Norbert Mao's statement and the Roosevelt image together create one combined message. History remembers those who stepped into the arena. Whether supporters see it as courage or critics see it as political theater depends on perspective. But one thing is difficult to deny. The post was designed to sound larger than a campaign message. It reads like a political battle speech filled with military language, biblical imagery, and historical symbolism. And perhaps that is exactly the point, not merely to ask who becomes the Speaker of the 12th Parliament, but to ask who dares to enter the arena. We wish you the best. All the best, Norbert Mao.